had our show. I was a swan.
Really? Then you got a right to chicken done right.
I make it tender, juicy, every bite.
I make fresh, hot biscuits.
And tasty, fresh coleslaw.
You got a right to chicken done right.
Nobody makes chicken like we do with the Colonel's secret blend of herbs and spices.
It's finger looking good.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
What's going on, and welcome back. So we just got a KFC and a Taco Bell here in town last week. I know you're probably thinking you're just now getting a KFC and a Taco Bell. Like, what kind of backwards bullshit town do you live in? Listen, we had one before. We had a KFC, we had a Taco Bell. It was all in one building. And that place was a piece of work, man. That place was a piece of work. The employees that worked there, Jesus. My son liked going there. I didn't care for it too much. So I would take him to KFC to get food or whatever. He liked it. But dude, I go like park I go to the drive-thru, and I remember, this was on a Sunday. I remember this day very, very, very vividly. I go and I'm at the drive-thru. I'm waiting. You know, there's nobody there. I mean, there's people inside the restaurant, but there's nobody on the drive-thru. Just me. I'm sitting there at the intercom thing waiting. And I guess the manager, he walks out of the building. He's out there smoking a cigarette, and he sees me just sitting there waiting. And he asked me, he's like, "Have you been helped?" I was like, yeah, they told me to wait a second. Which was like, I kid you not, 20 minutes. I'm sitting there. And I know you're probably thinking, if I were you, I would have just driven off. I wanted to. Believe me, I wanted to, but my son, you know, back then he was smaller, you know, he wanted KFC. So I was like, I'll wait. So I ordered his food. You know, I asked for mac and cheese as a side. And I get up to the window. And this guy walks up to the window, an employee. And he goes, "Did you order this, this, and that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And he says, he tells me, "Oh, okay." He's like, I don't work the window, but I don't normally work the window at all. He's like, "I'm not working the window. I just wanted to make sure I just wanted to see if that's what you ordered." I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "All right." He turns around, he's walking off, and then he yells really loud. He's like, "God damn." He says, "I'm so hungover right now." He goes, "I partied my balls off last night. I don't even want to be here." He's yelling loud. I'm like, "Dude, are you serious right now?" They're like, "There's people eating in the restaurant," and he's like saying this like loud. I'm like, "Oh my God, dude." So I'm like, oh, just shaking my head. The girl that's working the window walks up with my order, right? And she gives it to me. And this bitch, this girl, she's like ghetto as shit, man. You can tell she's just ghetto looking. And I'm trying my best not to cuss. But she's like, gives me my order. And I'm checking it right quick while she's, you know, running my card. And I notice that there's corn and not mac and cheese. So I tell her, I'm like, I asked for mac and cheese, but I guess you gave me corn instead on accident. She was like, "No, you asked for corn." I'm like, no. I go, I'm pretty sure I asked for mac and cheese. She's like, "No, you asked for corn." She was arguing with me. I'm like, this bitch, she's arguing with me. You don't argue with the customer. The customer's always right. I ordered mac and cheese, and she's like, "No, you ordered corn." I was like, dude, whatever. I got my card back and I took off, and my son's like, he starts crying. It's like, no mac and cheese? I was like, no, dude. They did, dude. All they had to do was go to the back and give me a side of mac and cheese. And they did. She didn't want to give me mac and cheese. I was like, God damn, man. So I end up going to Bush's. I go to Bush's Chicken just to get a side of mac and cheese. Now, I get home, right? And the chicken's dry. They spilled gravy on my son's cookie because they gave him a cookie for a dessert. There's gravy on the cookie. I was like, oh my God, dude. I told him I'm never coming back to this place again. This is bullshit. And you could tell like KFC was like, it was always dead. I know why now, because the employees they had there were pieces of shit. They were the lowest pieces of shit on this planet. I swear to God. So one day, one night actually, something happened. One of the employees got fired. And I don't know if it was like that might have been the manager. It had to have been the manager. Because the employee that got fired had keys to the building. And this is why I'm thinking like this guy was the manager, because he had keys to the building, right? This guy that got fired, this employee. He goes into KFC that night and he burns the place down. I mean, he burned KFC and Taco Bell down to the ground. I was like, oh shit. I think they found out who it was, but I was like, dude, that's nuts, man. I can't believe he was so pissed off that he lost his very important job from his fast food restaurant that he felt that he had to go in and burn the place down. I was like, damn. And I'm thinking, then you know what? Who gives a shit? I'm glad. I'm glad that place burned down because it sucked. I mean, it sucked bad. And then it was later on, it's like, well, maybe they're gonna build something better here. Like maybe we'll get a Whataburger because we don't have a Whataburger, or like a Long John Silver's or something. And an Arby's would have been great, but no, they rebuild Taco Bell and KFC again. But now this time they're in separate buildings because they're like, man, if we lose one, we won't lose the other. I'm guessing, but it's in the same spot. But now there's just a Taco Bell and now there's a KFC, and we went to KFC this past Saturday, and it was good. I gotta tell you what, man. The employees there were like top notch. They got some top notch employees working there now. They're fast. They're pretty fast. The drive-through, not so much. But we went into the building, and I ordered a chicken sandwich. My son got like a 3-piece, and I got a chicken sandwich, and dude, it was so good. I gotta say, this chicken sandwich was so freaking good. I was like, dude, I wanted another one. And I don't even like chicken that much. I don't like chicken that much, but I was like, dude, this was so delicious. The French fries that they have there, that they gave me with my meal, oh man, dude, I want some right now, actually. So anyway, the food was good. As a matter of fact, my son wanted to go back the next day. It was a Sunday, and I go, and there's a line, man. There's a line. You know, Taco Bell's dead. There's a line at KFC because I guess people are getting tired of eating Bush's chicken or whatever. So I go and I pretty much ordered the same thing that I did before, the day before. And I get up to the window, and this girl hands me my food. It's in a bag. And then she hands me another bag. And it looked like the bag that she handed me was like the same shit that I got the day before. And the other bag was like, looked like the same box that my son got his meal in, right, the day before. But something's a little bit off with this order, because the bag that she handed me the first time with my meal in it was a little bit heavy. I was like, what is in this bag? And what's going on here? So I'm thinking maybe it's just the sides or something. I don't know. I come home and I have my food, and in my bag is my son's meal. I'm like, what is in this box? So I open the box up and it's like full of chicken tenders. I'm like, oh shit, so they screwed up. And we got a whole bunch of chicken tenders. So my son ate on those tenders for the rest of that day. But today after school, what was it today? Yeah, today after school, he was like, let's go back to KFC, because all he wanted was a side of mac and cheese and one side of mashed potatoes and gravy. That was it. That's all he wanted. It's like, all right. We go over there today, and it was packed to the gills with people. The drive-thru went all the way into the street, and their parking lot was packed, jam-packed. There's people parking at the Taco Bell just to go into KFC. I was like, no. And even my son was like, no, never mind. We would have been there for like at least a good hour waiting for two sides. So I was like, just give it a couple weeks, man. It's brand new. We haven't had a KFC here in a long time. A few years, feels like. Yeah, probably a few years. At least a couple of years for sure. So I was like, just give them a chance, man. Give them a chance to like let all these hungry bastards get their chicken. And then here in a couple of weeks, it'll die down like everything else does. And we can go with like no problems, no waiting or whatever. But yeah. KFC, Taco Bell, we got it back. And it looks like we're going to be eating a lot of chicken because my son loves KFC. And I'll be honest, I kind of like Taco Bell a little bit. But now I heard that we're going to get a Wendy's across the street from Walmart. I'm like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. I want a Whataburger. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.